here on the green, start talking.
Okay. Hi everyone and welcome. I'm Tami. You are... Oh, you told me we were going to start on the camera together.
We are together. So she wasn't on the wrong camera. The wrong camera was on her. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Hello everybody. This is Tami and I'm Tom. And together we are Nutmeg. I'm the Nut Notebook.
Okay. Woo. All right. That's funny.
You have no idea what she's put me through in the last 15 minutes, okay? So this is doing really well.
Laughter is really good. It's good for the soul. So anyway, welcome. We are glad you're here. We are the creators of the blog and this YouTube channel called Nutmeg Notebook. And this is where we share all about our plant-based, whole food plant-based lifestyle.
Yeah.
And sometimes we just crack up and make mistakes and we have fun.
None of that was a mistake.
None of it was a mistake?
Yeah, I don't even know if my collars are buttoned down.
They are.
Do I have my shirt on?
Yeah, he got his shirt on just the last minute. Okay, so we're so happy that you're here today. A little bit of...
Randy says we're starting with bloopers.
We are starting with bloopers.
That's a good sign, huh?
Well, it should be fun, I guess. Do you want to do a little bit of housekeeping?
Yeah, Tammy's going to have a little bit of a presentation on her, what turned out to be 10, I noticed in the script here. She's got 10 weight loss conversations she's going to step through. So let's let her work through that. If you have a question, remember it. You can put it down if you want to get it in print. Just put 4 question marks before it and after it, because then when I go back up through the scroll when she's done presenting to find it, it'll jump out at me. Mm-hmm. So I will be looking for those. But it would be great if you kind of hang on until she gets done with the presentation. Then we can kind of have the conversation about whatever she was talking about during the presentation. So that being said, I'm going to try and get the right screen on my computer so I'm not looking at fine print. I'm going to try and find my reading glasses. We're making some progress here.
Good,
so
good. That helps if you can read the computer
mouse,
screen.
I've got a mouse.
Okay, so today I wanted to talk all about plant-based tips for being healthy and having healthy weight loss. So I was on Chef AJ's The Truth About Weight Loss Summit last Sunday, and I have gotten such a wonderful response to my being on the summit, and lots of emails. So thank you, everyone. Some people just wrote to me to tell me that how much they enjoyed it, and other people wanted more information. They wanted to know what I did to lose the weight and how I've kept it off. And so I decided, hey, we just need to do a video about it. So if you go looking at our videos that we have on this YouTube channel, we have quite a few videos about weight loss. And so you would probably want to catch up and preview most of those, just so you have a comprehensive understanding of what we will be talking about today. So we're going to get started, and I do have some questions that were submitted that I'm going to attempt to answer at the end as well. So as most of you know, losing weight is the most popular goal for Americans. And we know that it is the #1 New Year's resolution. And that just goes to show you how difficult it is, because I know for myself, for many years, I was making that my New Year's resolution until I found a whole food plant-based lifestyle. So it doesn't matter how much money you have, it doesn't matter how much education you have, where you live, what your job is, how many kids you have. Losing weight can just be a battle for absolutely everyone. 90% of the people who go on a diet and lose weight gain it back. Isn't that horrible? 90%. Not only do they gain back the weight that they lost, but they usually end up gaining back more. So my first piece of advice, and Tom, I'm going to ask you to put up, do you have my, there you go. That is my before and after. So on the left there, that was me at my heaviest. I weighed 174 pounds. And I was really uncomfortable and unhappy with my weight. I spent almost 40 years of yo-yo dieting, trying every fad diet that came by, and Jenny Craig and Nutrisystem and South Beach and Atkins, you name it, I probably tried it. I could lose weight on all of them. I just couldn't keep it off. And part of that is because I was trying to moderate eating foods that are not meant to be eaten in moderation. Some people can do that. I just happen to be one of those people who can't. So that's just how it is. So when you look up the definition of dieting in a dictionary, the definition is a regimen of eating and drinking sparingly so as to reduce one's weight by going on a diet. Who wants to do that? Who can sustain that for long term? Well, the truth is nobody. Nobody can sustain that for long term. So we have to adopt, will you go to the next slide, Tom? We have to adopt a healthy lifestyle that we can sustain for the rest of our lives. Otherwise, there's absolutely no reason to be trying to lose weight in the first place if we're only going to turn around and gain it back. That's just more detrimental to our health. And it's actually our daily habits that will help us to lose weight and to sustain that weight loss. When you choose to follow a whole food plant-based lifestyle that promotes optimal health, weight loss just happens to be a wonderful side effect of that. So you have to first clean up your environment. Get rid of all the processed food, the junk foods, even the vegan junk food that you have in your house. Fill your pantry, your fridge, and your freezer with healthy, whole plant foods that are optimal for health and for weight loss. So, Tom, I need you to come back and do my slides. He's running around changing things on the camera. I do love that saying.
Well, there was camera data on that. You know, I didn't have all of the info stuff off the. You didn't have a clear image. You had numbers and things all floating around your head.
Oh, how exciting! I bet they all wondered what was going on.
Okay, so are you ready for the next collage?
No, you're too far ahead now. The blue one, I think. What have you done?
Yeah.
See, you were running around. I couldn't keep track of you.
All right. So here we go.
Okay. So a year from now, I love this. A year from now, you will wish you had started today. And you know what? Time's going to pass whether you do something about your health or your weight, regardless. So why not make that time count? And you will be so happy that you did. So you've got to clean up your environment. You've got to get everything out of the fridge, the pantry, the cupboards that is foods that are either a trigger for you, things that you cannot moderate, things that are unhealthy. Because if they're in your house, Chef AJ says, if it's in your house, it's in your mouth. Eventually, you will succumb to it and eat it because we start out with a lot of willpower and our willpower starts to go away. We don't have unlimited amounts of it. So that's the first thing. And then replenish the pantry, the refrigerator, and the freezer with healthy whole plant foods that are delicious and healthy. You also need to watch, let's go to the calorie density, you need to watch.
I had two in front of that.
Okay, well you're not clicking on them fast enough, babe.
I need prompts. I need prompts when to click on them.
Oh, well, I thought you were going to you were going to stay caught up.
Okay.
Okay, he's doing too many things. We're making him multitask.
So you've already talked about these beautiful foods.
No, that's okay. These are the foods that you need to be having in your house and in your life and putting in your body because these are the foods that are low calorie density and nutrient dense. Also, we have, you can go to the next slide there. There we go. So a while back, we did a video all about calorie density. If you watched the Truth About Weight Loss Summit, then you heard Dr. Barbara Rolls was on, and she was talking all about calorie density. It was once I learned about calorie density that I was able to finally lose the weight and keep it off. It made so much sense to me. So here is our calorie density chart. What I eat and what I ate to lose weight are the things above that green line where it says eat more. Vegetables, 100 calories per pound. Oh, and calorie density, you can watch the video for a full explanation, but calorie density is just simply the amount of calories for a given amount of food. And on the calorie density chart, those calories are for 1 pound of each of those food categories. So we don't need to know how many calories are in each individual food. We only need to know the approximate amount of calories that are in each food group. And you want to stay with the 600 calories or less per pound categories. So you can see the vegetables, 100 calories. Yes, there's some that are even less than that, but this is rounded. So approximately 100 calories. Fruit, 300 calories. Potatoes, corn, squash, and oats, 400. Whole grains, rice. Pasta, not so great for weight loss, but you can get some bean and legume pastas. Beans and legumes, 600 calories. Tofu also falls into that category, but most of the calorie density charts for weight loss don't include it because it is higher fat, and so beans and legumes are more optimal for your weight loss. So you want to keep all of your food choices under 600 calories per pound for optimal health and weight loss. Also, they happen to be the most nutrient-dense foods, and so that's why we want to eat them for health as well. You need to make your plate at each meal about 50-50. Let's go to the next slide. What this means is 50% non-starchy vegetables and 50% starch. So yes, you can have starch and still lose weight. We actually need the unrefined carbohydrates in order to have satiety, feeling full enough, and that's also where we're getting our energy. It gives us the glucose. We need the glucose for energy, physical as well as mental, because our brain also needs that glucose. We have to get rid of the salt, the oil, and the sugar from the food. So you can see this beautiful salad. This is something that I eat. I eat a big, beautiful salad every day. And underneath the broccoli, the strawberries, and the blueberries, and that Japanese sweet potato is about a pound of dark leafy greens and some other vegetables that I have chopped. And so I'm having more than 50% of that meal is non-starchy vegetables. You need to include that starch in every meal. You also need to include vegetables in every meal. So potatoes offer the most satiety on the satiety index, as was discovered by Dr. Susan Holt. So eat potatoes, you guys. I find for myself, potatoes are much more filling for me than grains. Tom eats a lot of rice. He doesn't eat quite as many potatoes as I do, but he really loves rice. But no matter which grain or which starch you choose, complex carbohydrates release their energy slowly over time. That's why they fill us up instead of filling us out. Now, next slide. SOS is the international symbol for distress. In our plant-based world, it stands for salt, oil, and sugar. And these are highly refined substances that don't provide nutritional benefits and in fact can lead to dietary distress. And so we want you to eliminate those from your diet. We have a video all about the why, and we also have a video telling you how to cook your vegetables without using oil and how to season your food without using salt. So you'll want to check out those videos as well for additional information. Now, I'm also going to recommend that you automate your meals. What does that mean? That means eat basically the same thing every day for breakfast, for instance. So Tom eats the same breakfast 7 days a week, every month of the year, and he doesn't get tired of it. He doesn't have to think about what it is. He can just go to the pantry and get his oats, pull his milk out of the fridge, his almond milk, and dice up a banana and throw in the blueberries and the things that he needs in it. Makes it super simple. So I'm going to suggest that you do the same thing, but I'm going to suggest in weight loss mode that you include some dark leafy greens with breakfast and have that before you have your starch, because it has thylakoids in it, which is a compound that helps make you feel full. It suppresses the appetite, and it will help you with cravings throughout the day. So if you can have some dark leafy greens at every meal, that's a bonus. Then for one of our meals every day, we both have a great big chopped salad. So, and I don't eat breakfast in the morning. My first meal of the day is lunch. That's just when I happen to get hungry, so that's when I eat. And so right there, since Tom eats a salad every day for one of his meals, and so do I, then that's 14 meals we don't even have to think about, because we know that that's going to be a salad. So every day, I know I'm going to have that big, beautiful chopped salad for my first meal of the day, sometime, around 12 or 1 o'clock, and I don't have to think about it. It makes it so much easier. It also makes grocery shopping so much easier, and it cuts down on decision fatigue, because you don't have to stand at the refrigerator every day trying to figure out, what am I going to have for breakfast, what am I going to have for lunch. And so then also when we go to make our shopping list, it's so much easier. So, we can talk about, for dinner, then I usually have some kind of a soup, salad, vegetables, and a sauce or something like that. It just makes it really easy. And for Tom's other meal, he usually has some kind of steamed vegetables with a grain and maybe a little bit of tofu, because he's not trying to lose weight. Now, variety encourages overeating, and people who have multiple choices at a meal tend to overeat, and this is called the buffet effect. Too much variety actually stimulates the appetite and causes overeating. So think about when you go to a buffet and there's this huge, beautiful spread, and you feel like you want a little bit of everything. When we do that, when we go from one flavor profile to another, that stimulates our appetite and causes us to passively overeat. And so eat simple, clean, and easy meals, especially when you're in weight loss mode. You can vary the variety of plant sources from meal to meal, but at each meal, try to stick to not so much variety. For instance, make a burrito bowl. You could have rice in it, or oat groats, or quinoa in it, and beans and greens. And so very simple. You don't need to have 4 different things to choose from entree wise. Just keep it very simple. Now, I'm also going to suggest that you batch cook your food. Do you have the batch cooking? If you have a refrigerator full of healthy food, you are going to eat healthy food. You can save time by batch prepping things ahead of time. I have quite a few blog posts on the Nutmeg Notebook blog showing you different ways that I batch cook. We also have a couple of videos about batch cooking, and we did a batch cooking boot camp, was it about 3 weeks ago, and we plan on recreating that and doing one on our own. We did that with some other people, and we plan on recreating that because we got so many people after that asking for it again who had missed it. So just every time you cook something, double it. Why bake a potato every day when you can bake a pan of potatoes for the whole week? Why make 1 lentil loaf when you can make 2? It's just working smarter, not harder in the kitchen, and ensuring that you have things prepped in the refrigerator and you can freeze the extra things so that you can have them. We also batch prep our salads so that we can eat a big, beautiful salad every day quickly and easily and not have to drag out all of the ingredients to make them. So each individual eats about the same amount of pounds of food day after day. How many pounds varies from person to person. Like, Tom eats probably more pounds of food in a day than I do, but you as an individual consistently eat about the same amount of pounds every day, regardless of the calorie density of that food. So it's as simple as reducing the amount of calories per pound of the food that you're eating to be able to start losing weight, but you won't even notice it because you will still be eating the same pounds of food. Does that make sense? So let's say that you're eating, 800 calories per pound on the calorie density chart. If you bring that back down to 600 calories, and let's say you eat 4 pounds of food a day, then that's quite a savings every day. But you won't even notice it because you will be still eating the same amount of pounds. It's just lower calorie density. And the way you do that is to make sure that you're choosing a lot of non-starchy vegetables and some fruits, because they are full of fiber, they're full of water, and that's where we get a lot of the satiety and feeling full. They engage the stretch receptors that we have in the stomach, and they tell the brain, oh, we're full. And so if you sequence your food by always starting with the lowest calorie density foods and then working your way up to the higher calorie density foods, which would mean you would start with your non-starchy vegetables before you would eat your starch, then you will actually eat less of the high calorie density foods. So it's a really smart way to eat and a very easy way to lose weight. So this is a picture of our fridge, and this is what it usually looks like on Monday mornings after we have batch prepped over the weekend. I like to put everything in clear containers so that we can see it, and that way we know just when we open the fridge we can see what everything is, because the containers are see-through, and it makes it really easy to pull together meals. And we make a lot more ingredients than we do recipes, because then we can take non-starchy vegetables, we can take fruit, and we can combine that with our starches and make some wonderful meals. So, and this just, really helps us, especially in the evening when we have decision fatigue. So you can, next slide. Sauces make a huge difference. Hopefully you saw that yesterday we posted a new video, and we posted a blog post, and these are the sauces that I was talking about and showing when I did Chef AJ's Truth About Weight Loss Summit last Sunday. And these make a huge difference. These are all SOS free. These SOS free sauces make delightfully delicious dishes. I like that, but try to say that fast. You want to include some really delicious sauces to help dress up your food, especially when you're first starting and just starting to get rid of salt, oil, and sugar. You can also use fresh herbs, dried herbs to make your food taste absolutely amazing. Fresh lime juice and lemon juice, flavored vinegars. There's salt-free seasonings. Don't forget the onions, the garlic, and peppers. All of those add a lot of flavor. And we also love Well Your World products. Tom, can you give us that slide? So Dylan from Well Your World has come up with an entire line of whole food, plant-based, SOS-free products, and they are all amazing. We are now affiliates with him, but we were using his products before we became affiliates, because we only endorse products that we really do use ourselves and that we think that you would like as well. So he has a gravy, a cheese sauce, a marinara, he has seasonings, he has nutritional yeast, date powder, a pancake mix. I'm probably forgetting some stuff.
Magical Stardust salt substitute.
Tom loves the Stardust. He likes to call it Magical Stardust, and he loves it. So, so those are really delicious. We will put a link to the Well Your World products down below in the show notes if you're interested. Also, I want to say I made a companion blog post to go along with today's video. That's why I was driving him crazy, because I was working on that literally up until 5 minutes before we went live. And so you will also find links and things in there as well. Now, next slide. To weigh or not to weigh? That is, oh, no, wrong one. There we go. That is the question. This is controversial. So some people, like Dr. Doug Lisle, say don't get on the scale. Jean-Pierre, who was one of the creators of the Ultimate Weight Loss Program that I joined, that helped me lose weight, he does not want his clients to be on the scale. And so when I was in that program, I actually had Tom hide the scale for 3 months so that I wouldn't be tempted to get on it. So it all depends on the individual. Some people say that they can get derailed easily by getting on the scale, whether it's negative or a positive result on the scale. So if they've lost weight, they might think, ooh, you know, I've got room to cheat a little. I can have a treat today. Or if they get on the scale and they feel like they should have lost, but it doesn't show a loss, then that might trigger them to overeat because they're upset. And what do they do when they're upset? They eat something. And so it all depends on the individual. If the scale doesn't control how you feel about yourself and your body and how you are doing, by all means, go ahead and weigh. If you end up being a, a scale monkey where it just makes you a little bit crazy and you get addicted to weighing, then don't weigh. Dr. Doug Lisle says if you are insistent on weighing, his suggestion would be to weigh 3 days in a row, once a month, and then average those numbers, what you get, to try to get a realistic handle on how much you actually weigh, because we vary in our weight from day to day depending on a multitude of things. How much you ate, how much sodium was in the products that you ate, you know, if you've had a bowel movement or not. So many things go into it. And I know as women, we put way too much weight, if you will, on what the scale says. And so I'm leaving that up to you. I found it for myself to be absolutely freeing to not get on the scale. You can tell if you're losing weight by how your clothes are fitting, how your rings are fitting. You know, a belt is getting too big. You have to take it into the next notch. You can zip up a pair of pants that you couldn't before. I mean, you know, we have all kinds of non-scale victory ways to figure out if we're losing weight or not. Not yet. I'm not ready for that one yet. And so I'm going to let you decide if getting on the scale is good for you or not for you, and leave it to your discretion. Now, I want to say that also we need to not be using food as entertainment, because we need to get our dopamine hits from something else. Now, even when we're eating whole food plant-based, we get a dopamine hit from the food. That's the pleasure hormone that gets released, and you know, it makes us feel good. The effect from dopamine from food only lasts about 3 minutes. So when you think about, you know, getting something yummy that you want to eat, just know that the pleasure is fleeting. I mean, can you believe you only get that pleasure for 3 minutes? So try to get, well, now we'll do this. Next slide, Tom. Try to get your dopamine hits from other things. So Andrew Taylor, who is the gentleman from Australia who ate only potatoes for a year. We had the opportunity to meet him a couple of years ago. He came to one of our potlucks and spoke, and he said, you know, make your food boring and your life exciting. And although I don't think my food is boring, I totally understand what he is saying. So you want to find other things to get your dopamine hit from. We happen to love to go for nature walks and to go hiking. That gives us just a tremendous amount of pleasure. Even the anticipation of going has a profound effect on my attitude. As we're driving up to the foothills to go hiking, Tom says that I just all of a sudden start to relax and just get happier. And because I just love it so much. And so it gives me a huge dopamine hit. So you can go for walks, you can take up a craft, you can do volunteer work, listen to beautiful soothing music, or rock out and dance to some music. You could do yoga or meditation, walk the dog, talk to a friend, clean your house, play with the grandkids. Whatever it is, just find things that you can do that will bring you pleasure and make you happy. Eat when you truly have hunger. Next slide. He's looking for it.
I had a couple of too many things going on at once there.
I'm keeping him really busy.
I was rebroadcasting the chat feed out to everybody.
Okay.
Because I was over there to working. There was a sunspot on your face.
Oh, okay. So eat when you truly have hunger. Eat to fuel your body, not to feed your emotions. And one thing that I learned from a friend of mine who is a life coach years ago, she said this question is universal for whatever situation you find yourself in. So the question is that you will fill in the blank for, I am feeling blank, so I need blank. If the I am feeling blank isn't hunger, then what I need is not food. So write down, I am feeling, and then blank, so I need blank. This works so well for me because I can ask myself, am I hungry? No, I'm not hungry. Okay, if I'm not hungry, food is not the answer. If I'm feeling anxious, then maybe I need some exercise or meditation. If I'm feeling tired, then I need sleep. If I'm feeling thirsty, then I need water. Do you see? So you can narrow it down quickly. Is it food that I actually need? If it's not hunger, then I don't need food. So eat when you have true hunger and use food to fuel your body. I'm also going to suggest, this is number 8, that you take a 30-day break from eating in restaurants. Now, many of you are not eating in restaurants right now because of the pandemic, but some of you are because you've written to me and told me that it's difficult. It is difficult to get healthy food in restaurants that is SOS free, unless you order a salad. So if you have to go to a restaurant, if there's, you're traveling or, the family insists or what have you, you can order a salad. If there's no salad on the menu, I ask. Most restaurants do have romaine lettuce or spinach and some vegetables, and most restaurants can make me a salad, even if there isn't a compliant salad on the menu. I will just talk to the waitress and say, I'm really going to be your problem child today. I have a lot of food issues. I don't lie and say I have allergies. I just say I have a lot of food issues and I'm on a special diet. Is there any way that they could make me just a big, beautiful salad with, and I list off a bunch of vegetables. Only one time in, how long have I been doing this? 8 years. Only one time in 8 years was a restaurant not able to do that because they weren't really like a real restaurant. It was kind of a bar place, but they sold food and all of their food came prepared. They just heated it up and served it. And so we left there and we were traveling and we went to a food co-op and got a beautiful burrito bowl that was compliant. So, but most restaurants have been able to at least make me a salad. And I am not shy about taking in my own stuff. So I'm happy to dice up a potato that I've cooked at home and season it with some onion powder and garlic powder and have another baggie with some garbanzo beans in it and a little container of my own vinegar or salad dressing to add to a salad. And you know what? Nobody else cares what I'm eating in the restaurant. So, and I'm just not shy about it because I am so determined that I'm going to eat healthy no matter where I am, that I just don't compromise on that. And so that works for me, and you can do that too. Post-pandemic, when people are inviting us to go out to eat and stuff again, do some alternatives. Ask them if they would like to go for a walk with you instead, or go on a hike or a bike ride. Pick an activity to do instead. And after the pandemic's over, you know, then you can take a ceramics class or a painting class or do other things. You can join a team sport or join a bike club or volunteer and help others. Okay, next slide.
It's there.
Oh, it's there. So this is, we call it Pipit. Potato in your purse, or for Tom, potato in his pocket. So this was on a hike that we were on, and we take potatoes. That was a Japanese sweet potato that we had previously cooked, and we just pack those in our backpacks and take them with us. So if you know that you're going to be away from home for several hours and you might end up getting hungry while you're out, pack a potato. In the summertime, you can just put it in a little cooler with some ice and keep it nice and cold. It travels well, it's filling, it's satisfying. You can always stop at Wendy's and buy 1 or 2 baked potatoes. We've never actually done that, but I know a lot of people do that. And when the microwaves are available again, places like grocery stores and Whole Foods and some of those places do have some potatoes that are all washed and ready to bake or microwave. And if they have a microwave in their cafeteria area, you can actually cook a potato in the microwave there and eat it. So you can also find fresh cut up vegetables and fruit at every grocery store now. You know, even just like a regular like Safeway store, you walk in there and they have containers of fruit that's already cut, and they have containers of vegetables that are already cut. So it's very easy to eat healthy no matter where you go now, because you have to just think out of the box a little bit. But if you're determined, you can make it happen. So number 10 is get some daily movement. Now, you cannot outrun a bad diet, out-exercise a bad diet, but we're not exercising to lose weight. We are exercising for all the other things that it does for us. So it's a great stress reducer. It releases those feel-good hormones and those endorphins. It pleases our internal audience, as Dr. Lyle would say. And if you exercise first thing in the morning, it sets you up for success all day long. It helps you make better choices throughout the day because you already feel so great because you've been doing something that's good for you, that it helps you make better choices about what you eat later in the day. So I can't say enough about moving. You know, when I first started an exercise program back in like 2002 or 3, I could only walk for about 20 minutes. And I just kept building on that until I could walk a full hour. And then I just started working on my speed. And then I started adding in some hills. And then we started hiking. And, you know, so I started out only being able to walk for 20 minutes to the point now where I can walk like 16 miles on a hike with elevation in the mountains. And so just keep at it. You can start slow, just add more steps every day.
Where was that hike with that potato?
That was Devil's
Post Pile.
Post Pile.
Okay.
That's where that hike was. So you don't have to be perfect. We're just focusing on progress, you guys. So don't give up if you slip, but also don't let a slip turn into a slide, which is really easy to do. So what I always tell people is if you have a little bit of a slip, just do the next right thing at the very next meal. not the next day, not next Monday. No, because too much damage can happen in between. You just do the right thing at the very next meal. Make sure you're eating a plate 50-50, half non-starchy vegetables and half starch at the very next meal. That way you can get healthy and you can stay healthy and you can get to your healthy weight one meal at a time. So now I'm ready to take questions. Oh, you want to do the last? I'm sorry.
I had it queued. The one I got. One I got right. You're going to skip it?
Sorry, no, not at all. So believe in possibilities, because if I can lose weight and maintain my weight loss for how many years now? 5, 6 years. You can do it too, because I was a serial dieter. I was constantly losing weight and gaining it back. And so the trick for me was learning about calorie density. And in Chef AJ's book, The Secrets to Ultimate Weight Loss, she talks all about calorie density. She talks all about how to eat. There's a calorie density chart on the back here. If you go to my blog post, I have a calorie density chart on there. So this is an excellent book. The Pleasure Trap by Doug Lisle. Learning all about the pleasure trap was a huge eye-opener for me to find out I'm not broken. There isn't anything wrong with me. My brain works just fine. I would be a survivor if there ever was a time where food was scarce, because my body loves to hold on to fat. And so reading The Pleasure Trap really helped me realize that there wasn't anything wrong with me. And then also the McDougall Maximum Weight Loss book is also a really good one. Now he does use a little bit of salt, a little bit of sugar, and for some of us that can be tricky because it can cause us to passively overeat. And salty food actually does cause us to passively overeat. They've done studies on that. So if you have a potato and you salt it, you're going to eat more salted potato than you will a plain potato. Or if you do rice, if you have 2 dishes of rice, you know, the salty one is going to give you a bigger dopamine hit, and you're going to eat more than you otherwise would. And then Own Your Health. We did interview Glenn Mercer last week, and he is the author of the book, and AJ did the recipes for this book, and I have some recipes in this book as well. And this is also a really nice companion book because it has a lot of SOS-free recipes in it. So there you go. Questions? Oh, Carol Wickstrom, thank you so much. That was so sweet. I forget what that's called.
It's called Super Chat.
Super Chat.
Thank you so much, Carol, for the Super Chat.
Yes, thank you very much.
So, despite my slide presentation skills,
maybe I should have been doing the slides.
You know, to be clear, the slides went into the video controller 30 seconds before we went live. They're not in a PowerPoint. They're just in this little electronic bucket, and I'm actually having to grab them manually one at a time and put them into the video machine and then push another button to send them out to U-Time. So I was kind of flying 3 different ways. Somebody said I needed an assistant.
You did good, honey. Thank you.
So yeah.
I threw him for a loop when I was like, I have all these slides I want to use, but I didn't put them in a PowerPoint. I didn't have time to make a PowerPoint.
So anyway, back to Carol. Carol, thank you so much for supporting our work here.
Yeah, we appreciate that. Super Chat.
And just above Carol's Super Chat, Annette's asking about our walk this morning, if we save that post. It's saved on Facebook, not on YouTube.
Yes, we did walk.
And I went back through it after the live, after we broadcast it to check comments, and it was working on my phone.
Okay, so it should be there on Facebook.
But it's like down in the scroll maybe a little bit, because I actually had a hard time finding it myself because I'm not that proficient on Facebook. So
okay.
Anyway.
Okay, I gotta have a drink. I'm thirsty now.
Yeah, you were going pretty fast there. You got through that in, well, it's been 43 minutes. Can you believe that?
Wow.
So anyway. Okay, she says it's there now. So now we're doing good. Okay.
Okay, so for the SOS free, I saw a question, where should they go for a crash course? We have a video all about SOS free, why SOS free. So, and in that video, we explain to you why we don't eat salt, oil, and sugar. And many of the speakers for the Truth About Weight Loss Summit talked about salt, oil, and sugar. And the very first speaker out the door also talked about it. So oil is just...
Did you link that in your blog post?
Yes.
Okay. And
if you go to nutmegnotebook.com, the new blog post is up, and I have links.
Yeah, and Jesse had made a comment about that in the blog, in the chat roll, that all of the slides that Tami just went through in the proper order, and I would add the two of them were in the wrong orientation on the machine. They went sideways, and so that's why I was going over to the blog on the internet, and then and to get them upside up, because they wouldn't go. We have to use PowerPoint for that in the future.
Yes.
So I guess. So anyway, go to the blog when we're done, and you can catch all this stuff in a good sequence. And there was a question about table tasty versus Stardust in terms of flavor profile. I gave them an answer in the chat feed.
Oh, what did you say?
Well, one of our viewers was asking which one we liked better. I like them both, but for different reasons. In my mind, table tasty is more salty tasting.
Okay.
But I'm not so much drawn to want salty flavors so much anymore. I like the smoothness, the richness. Something about the Stardust on the vegetables just gives it a very nice, umami's not the right flavor for, but it's just really a rich flavor to me. It's a different profile.
I'm trying to get this to stop.
So
my friends are texting, and I usually put this. I usually shut this.
Do airplane mode.
There we go.
There you go. Okay. So that was my answer. But do you have what's your view of table tasty?
Yeah, I like them. I like them both. It's such an individual thing. You kind of have to taste both of them, I think, to decide. It's like asking somebody, is this salsa hot? Well, all depends on who's tasting it, because we all have different taste preferences, I guess is what I want to say. So, so I'm happy to answer any questions.
Okay, Jesse's asking, can we post a link directly to the plant-based tips for health and calorie density chart that Tami has on the website? Though that one that was stacked, because we've seen Chef AJ's a lot where it's left and right. That one was the vertical.
Yeah.
So.
Well, you can go to the blog and you can copy and paste that picture right from the blog, can't you?
Yeah.
People can. People can.
Yeah.
I mean, you can just, with your computer, you can, when you get to the blog, you can copy and paste that picture. I just found it on the internet. I did calorie density chart and Googled it and clicked on images
and checked it was one that was consistent with our...
Yes, and lots of them come up. Now, some calorie density charts will have animal products on them, so you need to look for one that somebody plant-based has put together. And then we also have the video on it as well. And then you can print that. You can just print it out on your printer from your computer, and then put it on your refrigerator if you choose to do that. So sequencing and calorie density and the pleasure trap, those were all the things that helped me be able to lose the weight. And giving up those high calorie density foods for me made a really big difference. And I mentioned in the summit last Sunday that I was diagnosed with hypothyroidism about a year into having gone plant-based. And I'm pretty sure, my thyroid was going bonkers the year before, but when it starts to mess up a little bit, some days it does okay, some days it doesn't. When I got tested, I was within the normal range. And so, then I went plant-based, and like a year later, then it started to malfunction again. So people always ask me, why didn't going plant-based reverse that? Well, it doesn't for everyone. Chef AJ is also hypothyroid, and she's on medication as well. I do know some people that they were able to get off their thyroid medication after going whole food plant-based, but that's not me. When we interviewed, help me, from True North, Dr. Goldhammer. When we interviewed Dr. Goldhammer a couple months ago, we talked about hypothyroidism in that interview. So you can listen to that. So, and he says that, just the only thing that you really need to avoid are products that have gluten in them. Yes?
A couple of things to catch up here, and then you've got some printed ones. Did you eat, Tova's asking, did you eat differently once you reached your goal weight?
No, not really. I pretty much eat the same, except for occasionally now I will have a little bit of avocado or a little bit of nuts. Not on a weekly basis, because I just gain weight very easily. People who have yo-yo dieted have they still have all of their fat cells, and your fat cells are just sitting there waiting for you to overeat a little bit or have some higher fat foods that it can store. And so I gain weight really easily.
Okay, a couple more food questions. How do you don't like how I describe unami in an unusual way. So Gina's asking, what's unami?
Oh, how to describe it. It's a tricky.
I call it a dark.
Yeah, he calls it a dark.
Rich,
earthy. I would say it's more of an earthy flavor.
Yeah. So
is what I would describe it as.
And then there was a question here about what's the deal with potatoes getting green, not eating. I think it's from Free. What's the deal with potatoes being green? As in, you shouldn't eat them.
Yeah, you shouldn't eat them. I think it happens from too much light exposure, if I'm correct, and it changes an enzyme in them, and so they say you should not eat them. They can cause you to have an upset stomach.
I'm on the wrong camera, or am I? No, I'm
no,
on the
we're
wrong
on
camera.
this one.
I looked it up once because we had a bunch of potatoes with eyes all over them, and there's some chemical in there that can like affect your brain or give you a headache. It's very detrimental.
Yeah.
And I don't remember the scientific, what it was, but it's like, I thought, my goodness, I guess I really should not eat.
Because you didn't believe me when I told you that, I think.
No, I thought it was a tail, but I looked it up and it's not a tail.
It's the truth.
It's actual science. So
yeah, I knew you didn't believe me.
I actually threw away a little potato a couple days ago that was
green.
Like really green. I thought, wow, this potato is getting green. So
yeah. So
anyway.
Ruth wanted to know, she saw a video on chopping the salad in the Holland bowl and finally understood it for the first time, the concept of a chopped salad, and wanted to know which knife do we use. And we use the Mezzaluna knife from Holland Bowl. And so we are affiliates with Holland Bowl, and when you order a chopping bowl, a wood chopping bowl, that is a minimum $125. Using our affiliate link, you get a free Mezzaluna knife from them with your bowl. So Mary Beth wrote and wanted to know how I lost the weight. So I think I have explained that pretty well today. And she's trying to figure out portion sizes versus eating until satiated, and thinks that maybe her non-whole food plant-based days interfere with her weight loss. Absolutely they do. And so, watch the calorie density video. As far as eating until you're satiated, when you're eating whole plant foods, you will definitely get full, and you will know you're full because they are full of fiber and water and create a lot of bulk in your stomach and activate the stretch receptors. And so I feel like the whole plant foods are self-limiting because you get full and you can't just keep eating them, unlike standard American diet processed junk food where you can eat a whole bag of something, a whole box of something, because it's so processed and it doesn't fill you up. You just want to keep eating, keep eating, keep eating. And also because you're not getting a super cascade of dopamine from the whole food, plant foods, it's also your brain doesn't keep telling you to eat more, eat more, eat more. So hopefully that helps. Yes.
Okay, John has a good question here. John Warren is asking, what do you use to replace high sodium tamari or soy sauce? And to give that context, Tova has commented back already that Thai Bragg liquid aminos has lower sodium.
Yeah, so coconut aminos does have lower sodium in it, but it does still have sodium. So it all depends on, how low you need to go. So, I just don't make a lot of things that would require the soy sauce. First of all, I'm gluten-free, but you can use tamari because tamari sauce is gluten-free. You can use some coconut aminos. That is going to have the most similar flavor for the least amount of sodium. And I don't know. I usually keep some because our grandkids like it. See, we have ketchup for the grandkids. Okay, let's look at this. Coconut aminos. This for 1/16 of a cup. This has 230 milligrams of sodium. So, and that seems like a lot, but that would be for a tablespoon because there's 16 tablespoons in a cup. So this has 230 milligrams of sodium in it. So that's like the closest thing that I know of to soy sauce for that kind of flavor. So that's a really hard thing to try to mimic without using sodium. So I've not been successful at that myself, of finding something to use. And then Lauren wrote and said that she got the Milthy lid, which is the crisp lid, the Milthy crisp lid that turns your 6 or 8 quart pressure cooker into a air fryer. But she can make really good chips in it, but she's been very unhappy with her potatoes. She thought that they would get crispier. It's just not the result she thought she'd get, and she wanted to know if I thought she would have better luck with the Breville. Well, I can get the potatoes in the using the Milthy crisp lid to come out just like the potatoes that I make in the Breville. So if you're not happy with that, then I don't think that you would be any happier with the Breville. So the one thing that we do that we have found makes a really big difference is we use pre-baked potatoes to make our French fries or our smashed potatoes. So we batch prep those, we batch bake them, put them in the refrigerator, and then we pull them out, they're cold, and we slice them or smash them, and then air fry them, and that gives us the best result. I tried making fries in the air fryer from raw potatoes, and we just didn't think they got crispy enough, they weren't cooked enough in the center, and so that's our preferred method. So if you're not liking how they turn out with the Milthy crisp lid, I don't think that the Breville will give you much of a different result. It's pretty much the same result, it's just that you can make a bigger batch. Okay. Anything else? I know
Nope.
that there were a couple questions on Facebook. Maybe if I look on my phone.
Okay.
And I forgot to print those.
If you want to look there, I
was so
can
busy.
catch folks up on what's happened with Super Cubes while you're
Yeah, that'd be great.
looking. Yeah, we're both on screen now. So in the newsletter today, I put some notes in there that Super Cubes was this afternoon, literally out of everything except the 2 tablespoon little, ice cube tray that they had. A couple of things are going to be coming back in like March 13th or something, but they encourage folks to go there and get, like we've suggested before, if you sign up, go in through our link and then pop-up comes up and you can sign up to be on their newsletter, they will let us all know when things are going to come back in stock. But I'll be including that information on future newsletters, kind of keeping an eye on what's going on with that. A bunch of you did get some Supercube orders in the week before the Shark Tank episode aired. You're the lucky ones, because I saw quite a number of orders go out, and then this week nothing. There's nothing going out because there's nothing to send out. So that was kind of a bigger surprise than I was expecting. So Jake and Michelle did really well with that. It'll be fun to see where they take their company.
Well, that's why we were suggesting to people, if you want some Supercubes, you better get them ordered before they are on the Shark Tank.
Yeah, and a lot of the models, you can't even like make an order. A couple of them yesterday, you could make an order that was going to ship in a couple of weeks. Well, those were kind of like locked out. So they're taking pre-orders on things that they know are coming inbound. So did you find your thing?
Cindy had wrote to me and said, you mentioned that your lunch is your first meal of the day. Just curious, do you only eat twice? And what do you usually eat for your second meal? So we do have a video on that called What We Eat in a Day. And so it pretty much shows you, because we're so consistent with how we eat. I think people on Instagram and Facebook get tired of seeing my food posts because I eat a lot of the same things. I only eat when I'm hungry. I eat, my first meal of the day is around noon to 1 o'clock. That's always a chopped salad. And, I add starch and different things to it. If you follow me on Instagram, Nutmeg Notebook on Instagram and Facebook, I do post several times a week what I eat, pictures of what I eat and a description of it. And then for dinner, I'll either have soup and some veggies, or maybe just some soup and some starch, or I might have a veggie burger and some air-fried potatoes and some vegetables. Just really something simple. I might just pull a bunch of water sauteed vegetables out of the fridge and add some starch to it, and then one of my sauces, usually the Chipotle nacho cheese sauce, because it's my favorite and we always have that made. We make a batch of it every week. So if you go to the blog and look at the post that I posted yesterday, I give you all kinds of meal ideas using the different sauces that I posted about: Chipotle nacho cheese sauce, an Alfredo sauce, a marinara, and a salsa. And I put pictures in there, and we also did a video with lots of pictures to talk about how to put together really simple, easy meals, because we know that's something that people are asking for. After I did the cooking demo on the summit last Sunday, someone wrote to me and said that was fantastic. I loved it. She said, but you're probably really creative and can stand at the refrigerator and look at all the ingredients and figure out how to put them together to make something tasty with a sauce. And she said, but some of us are not that creative. And so if you could give us ideas on how to do that, that would be helpful. So, so that's what we did in that video and in the post that we put up yesterday.
Jesse is asking, what category is polenta in terms of starches? What category is?
Oh, she's reposting for free. Free asked that question.
Oh, okay.
So,
and thank you for the super chat, Free. Appreciate it.
Oh, thank you so much. So polenta is okay to use. It's a little more processed, of course, but you are, it's dry, and then you're reconstituting it, cooking it in water, and so that reduces the calorie density of it, and so I think it's fine. And here's the thing, everybody has to decide what works for them. And so for some people, polenta might be too easy to eat because it's so creamy. It doesn't require a lot of chewing, and it might be easy for them to overeat unless they are putting a lot of vegetables with it so that they get the benefit of all that fiber and the bulk from the vegetables and having to chew the vegetables. We get a lot of satisfaction from being able to chew our food, believe it or not. So experiment and try and see how it works for you. Are you able to eat just you know, a normal amount and feel satiated by it, and it doesn't trigger overeating? Like, I can eat corn tortillas. There are some people who can't eat the corn tortillas because that just leads to binging for them. So you kind of have to experiment and see what works best for you. But anything that we can make with water does help to decrease its calorie density. Yes.
Stephanie Spear is asking, how do you reheat your pre-sauteed veggies?
Yeah, I just put them in the microwave. So I know a lot of people don't use microwaves. We do. We feel that they're fine. We only heat things up that are in glass dishes. Dr. Michael Greger on nutritionfacts.org has a video all about microwave, and he has read all of the studies, and he says microwaves are perfectly safe to use, but that's a personal choice. If you don't use a microwave, you could certainly heat them up in a pan, a saucepan on the stove if you wanted to do that. And there is a way to steam and reheat foods in the electric pressure cookers. And I have never actually done that myself, but I bet you can find a video on that on YouTube.
From Johnny Spence, the question is, the sauce video was great. How much does each recipe make? Because you were showing, you know, the jars were all the same size.
Yeah, so look at the individual recipes. I gave links to all of the individual recipes. The jar of salsa is how much it makes. It was 16 ounces. I think the cheese sauce makes about 24 ounces, and the marinara, I think, makes 3 quarts. It seems like it makes 3. I fill 3 of those quart jars, I think, when I make it. And the Alfredo probably makes 2.5 to 3 cups, I think.
Okay, we're cut up again.
Yay.
Did you want to get into the Nourish box?
Sure,
next?
we could.
I might want to adjust. I got to figure out what camera we want to use for that.
Okay.
Actually, I think I'll stay on the camera we have. You can kind of work right here would be good.
Okay, great.
And I might go over there and move it a little bit. So, and then are we going to like open it up backwards so
Yeah.
it makes sense?
Sure.
So this is an experiment. This is what we call an unboxing.
Should I do it on this camera here?
Yeah, we'll stay here. I've never been a fan of unboxing, a big fan of unboxings, because you go to YouTube and you get to see what's in the box. But a lot of people want to see what's in the box. And when I was shopping for, you know, things like this gizmo down here, I was watching unboxing videos to see, did it come with this cable? Did it come with the other cable I might need? And so that's how I found that out. So we did our first unboxing video on Amazon, not here yet, on YouTube. So if you go to our Amazon page, you'll see an official Nutmeg Notebook unboxing video we did.
So do you have Nourish Box listed in the show notes?
It's down in the show notes, yeah.
Okay,
so you can tell them what Nourish Box is, and I'm going to go around and run the camera. And
so we are affiliates with Nourish Box. We're ordering from them. It's a monthly subscription service, and we did it for about a year. And then Christopher from Nourish Box asked us if we would like to be affiliates, and we said yes, sure, because we love getting the box.
Before we go into that, there's just one last question on our last conversations. Because we'll want to go straight through this. What do you recall what the spices were in the parsnip soup from the Valentine's Day dinner?
I don't. It doesn't seem like it had very much in it. We put the fresh thyme on top, but in it, I think it was just the parsnips and almond milk.
Yeah.
Blended together, but a little bit of nutmeg is really good on it.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
A little bit of nutmeg.
Nobody's moderators have the chat feed. Nobody's watching chat feed.
Okay. So anyway, it's a monthly subscription service. It's whole food, plant-based, and everything is SOS free. So Christopher really follows Dr. Greger's 12 principles that he has. And so you can get just one box one time to try it if you want, or you can sign up for 3 months in advance or 6 months in advance. If you use Nutmeg as a discount code, when you go to order for the first time, you can save $5 on your first box. And so it comes once a month, and it's beautifully packaged, and it's usually there's between like 4 and 6 items. And so it says, I love Nourish Box. It's always so cute. He does such a great job curating, finding all of these amazing whole food plant-based products. You can see here there's descriptions of everything that is in the box, and then you can just use your smartphone and click on this, take a picture of this, and it takes you to the website where he has recipes. And so we'll remove that. And this time we are getting Energy Bites, Almond Chai Energy Bites. Those look tasty. And this is heirloom almonds, raw heirloom almonds. Those look fun. My favorite, oat groats.
You got oat groats?
Yeah, you guys know that I love oat groats.
So these were Zeba Foods. I got to remember. Okay, it's backwards for us. It's Zeba Foods heirloom almonds.
Okay, you want to show them the oat groats?
I pushed fade to black. Let's come back. No fade to black.
No fade to black.
Fade to white.
Okay, and then oat groats. I have a video, you guys, on how to cook oat groats so that they come out kind of like brown rice instead of porridge. And then they're really great for reducing cholesterol. And I like to use them in place of brown rice. And I don't know how you pronounce those beans, Tom. So it says, these are the top beans for bean lovers, the holy grail of beans.
Anybody want to try?
They're grown in the southwest region of France. These beans grown from heirloom seeds in Lodi, California are large, creamy, super versatile, and hold up great even with very long cooking times. So you can enjoy them by themselves in soups or stews or in a baked bean dish. Any way you try them, you are going to love them. And on the website, there is a recipe for making these like a risotto. So I will try that, and I will let you guys know how that turns out. And then, ooh, pretty. Wow. Oh, what is it? What is it?
It's a mix of peppers.
Oh, those look amazing.
So,
okay.
Like as in black and pink peppercorns, where Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. If Peter Piper picked a peck of peppers, where's the peck of pickled peppers Peter Piper picked?
Okay, this versatile pepper mix combines black and pink peppercorns.
Wow.
The rounded heat of pink peppercorns is closer to that of chili compared to black peppercorns, which are a bit more pungent. You'll also notice a fruity undercurrent in the deep flavor that pink peppercorns add to the mix. Elevate the flavors in your cooking and season your dishes with a dash of pepper mix. From your stews and curries to sauces and marinades. Wonderful. And you guys, I save these boxes and I use them when I have gifts for somebody. They're just perfect to put everything in.
Oh, this is gonna, we have to open this up.
Oh, what is this?
It's Crimson Clove, New York City, bold and savory and smoky. I'm gonna open it.
It says, I love New York, and this seasoning blend gives you a taste of New York City right in your kitchen. It's inspired by the delis of New York City and is deliciously rich and smoky. Use it to add some flair to beans, soups, or tempeh.
Put that in some beans.
Oh, that smells wonderful. That is great.
So that's why we like this Nourish box thing. You know, it's not inexpensive, but it's such an adventure. The different things we can get, it introduces us to
new and different things.
There's no way that we would even know about some of these things, and then we wind up really liking them. So it's kind of like a guided safari of culinary adventure.
It is.
So he does such a good job of putting things together.
He does. He finds all kinds of things.
So let's line these up, and then I'm going to go fix the camera, but you can talk briefly about what happens with this, because we're at 73 minutes already.
Oh my goodness. Okay, well, we were chatty today. Lots to talk about. So, oh yeah, that's why he had the I Love New York stuff, and so then the I Love Nourish box, he ties it in. So anyway, we love getting the Nourish box, you guys. It's really fun, and we know it's kind of an extravagant treat and not something that's in everyone's budget. But if you decide to try it, please use our link and use our code to save $5. And it makes a really wonderful gift for someone that is in your life that's also whole food, plant-based. And you can go on and order just one box to ship to someone if you want to do that. So it's really it's a fun treat.
Oh, did you know that we have Tiffany made it on today? Did
oh,
we
good,
know that?
Tiffany.
So, yeah, and thanks for your comments on our walk this morning. I spotted her when I was watching the replay. So
I missed it, I guess. I was having trouble with the chat feed on the walk this morning.
Yeah, Tiffany left like 3 messages and
I missed it.
You missed them. And then Kylie Kai gave you a big sunshine splash because she noticed that she got her 10,000 Instagram subscribers.
I did.
Thank you guys for helping that happen.
Yes. So now I've got to go on and figure out what tools I get now that we have 10,000 followers on there. So yeah, so people so for those of you that don't know, on Sunday mornings, we do a 4-mile walk. Well, we do a 4-mile walk every day, but on Sunday mornings, we chat while we do a Facebook Live on our morning walk. And you guys can chime in and talk with us, and we answer questions, and we show you what we can see on our walk. And it's a fun, casual little community thing that we like to do. And so this morning I was just having trouble with the chat feed, watching it on my phone. So I'm sorry that if you left comments and I didn't say anything, I'm so sorry. I was just having trouble this morning.
Okay, here's a couple questions came in while I was scrolling. Am I half on, half off? Because I didn't reposition.
Oh.
I'm positioned down here. See?
You were cutting yourself off.
So you can take this from Maria.
Maria wants to know, is the Beet Boost you are drinking the original flavor or the cherry? It is the original flavor. So this is what she is talking about. This is my Beet Boost, and this is the original flavor. I like it better. I did try the cherry, but I love the taste of beets, and so I really like the original flavor. Really works well for me. So
I still didn't make it. I was trying to keep the flowers in there since Tiffany's here.
Well, you can just scoot over closer to me.
Okay. All right. The flowers, Tiffany notices them. Everybody gets to enjoy them.
Okay, so somebody wanted to know the ingredients for the Nourish Bites, the Energy Bites, the almond chai. They are date paste, almonds, gluten-free oats, almond butter, chai spice blend, which includes cinnamon, ginger, cloves, nutmeg, cardamom, and allspice. And so the serving size is 1 bite, and there's 6 bites in here, and each one is 90 calories. So not a low-calorie density item. Something, though, that we could probably share with the grandkids, and they would love that. That would be fun. So, and everything that comes is not gluten-free. Sometimes there will be a grain that does have gluten, so I either let Tom eat it or I give it to our daughter because I'm gluten-free.
Okay.
Tiffany says that we're fashionable walkers on Sunday mornings. Well, we're not going to look bad for you guys, Tiffany.
It was cold. Somebody was asking me about my ear pockets on the walk this morning, so... Ear bags, they were called, because it was cold this morning. It was in the 30s. Okay,
so somebody's asking about the beans, and we don't know how to pronounce it.
Tarbius? Tarbais. So, the French specialty bean for cassoulet cooking. So think of a French enunciation. The S could be silent. Tarbai. Could be Tarbai of Lodi. Tarbai of Lodi. We'll go with Tarbai of Lodi.
Okay.
Somebody that knows French should
tell us how to pronounce that. Yeah. So That's fun.
Okay, see, Tiffany appreciates her flowers.
Yes, yes.
Okay, I just lost him though because I was competing with the flowers in the screen. Tarbay, thank you, Anthea.
Tarbay.
It's pronounced Tarbay.
Tarbay, okay. So those should be really fun to try. That will be a fun bean, and it says they're good for like a cassolette, so that would be good.
Okay.
Okay, so one thing that we did talk about with the people on Facebook this morning is we were thinking about maybe putting together some blog posts that would show you how to put, 2 or 3 recipes together to make a meal that would be appropriate for sharing with family or entertaining. We know a lot of people are not able to do that yet. Inside of our small pandemic bubble, the only people that we see are our 2 adult children, and our daughter has our 3 grandchildren, her and her husband. And so those are the only people we have seen during the pandemic. And so we do get together once a week for a family meal because it's our only social interaction. And so I was thinking Friday night as I made the meal for everybody, I thought, I wonder if people would enjoy seeing what those meals are and if that would be something that you guys would find helpful. So if there's a lot of interest, there seemed to be quite a bit of interest in that from the Facebook group, even though people aren't entertaining yet. Eventually, we hope we get to do that, or it might just be give you ideas on something that you can make for your own family. So let us know about that if you think that would be something that you would enjoy. Because all of those things take a lot of time. So we only want to do things that are really going to be beneficial for you guys. Verlin wants to know,
if we order, will we get the same box? Definitely not. Each box has a general theme. It's usually got a bean in it. It's usually got some kind of interesting snack. It usually has some kind of interesting seasoning. This time we got bonus on that. And there's usually an interesting grain. So you maybe could communicate and see if he has this particular box available to ship.
Yes.
That would be fine
you can
to ask for.
That.
But each month we get a box and that's the fun of it. We don't know what it's going to be.
Yeah. But if you go on the website, he had some things left over from some previous months, and so he has those listed on the website, and you can actually see what is in them.
So you can order the December box or the January box.
Yeah, if he had some products left over, and so you could email him and ask him if you could get this same box, if you're interested in this same box, and if he has enough ingredients to put it together, he would be happy to do that. For you. So I would just email him or message him. Yeah. And he's also on Instagram.
Is the regular ordering thing have those options on it, or?
Well, if you just go to the website, you can see that he has, I can't remember what it says.
Yeah, because he'll still do the Nutmeg discount if you send an email and say I want this and I was sent by Nutmeg. He'll take care of them.
Yeah, just say that you heard about it from Nutmeg Notebook and see if he has enough product left to put together a box like this for you. And next month it'll be something completely different.
Yeah, okay.
But it usually does have a bean, a grain, some kind of seasoning, some kind of a snack. Sometimes there's a vinegar, sometimes an herb. I mean, it's different things. Sometimes there's tea, herbal teas, just a wide variety. We got some
gourmet popcorns, which were really tasty.
Yeah. It was Amish popcorn kernels, and that was the best popcorn. And also, you also get links to coupon codes and discounts from the products that are in the box that you can use if you want to reorder, if you really like the products and want to order more of it. So that's also a nice bonus.
Jenna S. is asking, is this the standard size that you buy for oat groats? How many servings is this package?
No, I buy a great big, I don't know, 5 pounds.
5 pounds. On Amazon.
Yeah,
it's on our page.
I buy 5 pounds. So this is 2 cups in here. So I would cook this all at once. But I'm going to make the risotto recipe that is included with this time.
Okay. Beth is saying if someone does not eat carrots. Do you have a suggestion for an alternative ingredient in your Chipotle nacho cheese sauce?
Yeah, you could just use more potato. You could use orange or red bell pepper because that would help give it. It helps give it some color. Yeah. You could just use all potato, and you could add a little bit of turmeric to give it more of that orangey color, or a roasted bell pepper.
Yeah.
I've even just boiled the bell pepper instead of roasting it to put in the cheese sauce. So that could work.
Okay.
And if you don't mind that it's a pale color, you could just use all potato and not worry about it.
Yeah. Granny M is asking Beth, someone doesn't eat carrots? Question mark, question mark. What?
Well,
not everybody can like everything. Okay.
Yeah, and somebody says they use jarred roasted bell peppers. Yeah. You can do that. Most of them have quite a bit of sodium, so you do want to check the sodium content if that's an issue for you. But if the sodium isn't an issue for you, don't worry about it. The name of the Amish popcorn, I do not remember. That was like one of the first. It was like one of the first boxes.
Maybe something
that
to
we
Google.
got.
Google gourmet Amish popcorn and see what comes up.
It was really pretty.
Colorful.
It was purple, and it was just so pretty.
Okay. All right, Missy.
So Beth says that she'll admit it. Carrots are about the only vegetables she doesn't care for. And that's okay. We all have our preferences. There's, no judgment here.
Okay.
No judgment. It's okay. Tom loves his carrots. You love your carrots?
Carrots, broccoli, cauliflower.
Yeah. Okay, so let us know if you guys are interested in the like entertaining meals or family type meals,
Because we're looking forward optimistically. Yes.
Well, we're just looking for things that we can do that will help you guys, that will make life a little bit easier. Because, we don't want to do it for our own benefit. We want to do things that you guys want us to do.
Look, somebody gave us a thumbs down.
Wow.
We got one thumbs down.
Wow.
What did you do? What did she do?
Maybe they didn't like my hair. Oh, somebody the other day said, that your hair color's good. You should stick with this color. And
I hope so.
And I was like, well, I hope so, because it is my natural color. I have never dyed my hair. Little known fact about Tami. I just never, it's not anything I ever did as a kid. I was so afraid, because my hair is auburn colored. I was so afraid that if I did something, it would just like turn green or something, or be weird. And so I've never had to color my hair. So we just had to laugh. And I told my hairstylist that, and she got a big kick out of that as well.
Gina's saying, because you were asking about what people want to see, she wants to see the whole batch prep day, including six pots going all at once.
Yeah, I don't do my batch cooking all in one day anymore, because we are just so swamped. We are so busy that I don't usually have time to do it all in one day. So I've been spreading it out over like 3 days. Like this weekend, I didn't get potatoes made. We have enough potatoes baked to get us till Tuesday, and then I'll bake potatoes on Tuesday. I got salads made and a couple other things. But so I'm just spreading it out now.
Jesse's pointing out that the thumbs down might not belong to you. It could belong to me.
Thank you, Jesse.
Okay. Well,
thank you. Yeah, of course, he always blames it on me. She says it was probably, Colleen says it was probably a troll for the thumbs down. Or sometimes people accidentally hit it too, I think. And, we don't get upset about it.
That happened to me once. I was watching somebody, and I went to hit the thumbs up, and I accidentally hit and I felt I felt bad for like a whole day.
And you can't click on it and take it back, right?
I don't know. I didn't want to push it again and make a second. Well, you can't make two. You can't do two ups or downs. You can only do one per session.
Okay.
So anyway, I'll feel better if somebody just gives me one thumbs up, and then.
Yeah, you guys, give us a thumbs up. So. And if you haven't subscribed to the blog, please go to Nutmeg Notebook, the blog, and subscribe.
Jesse's got your back here. She says you're welcome to.
Thank you, Jesse. I count on you. Us girls got to stick together, don't you know? We got to watch each other's back.
I wasn't maliciously thinking about blaming it on you. It just was an assumption.
I don't know about you.
Okay.
Oh, he's just getting me back for making him scramble at the last minute with those pictures.
And the blog.
I'm sorry. Well, next time I'll decide to do that earlier.
The good thing is that today's program was hot off the press.
It was hot off the press.
The ink was still wet.
Literally, it was.
Yes. Okay. Coming off the printer. Yes. Because I was printing her presentation notes upstairs at 3:57 or something like that. 3 minutes before the program.
Hey. But at least it's done. You know what? When you get emails from people and they just really want the information, you just want to help them. You want them to get started because you want them to start having success so that they won't throw in the towel.
Okay, we got a couple of questions. We're going to answer and then we're going to close.
Okay.
So first one is from Lisa Weston. I know you want to be done with the show. Thank you. So we'll answer your question and then we'll wrap up after this other one. Any tips on keeping potatoes from turning green? Are they okay to eat? We were talking a little bit earlier. If they're visibly green and a little bit soft, no, they're not okay to eat. There's a chemical in there that has adverse effects on the human body. You can Google that. I've read it and it turned me off into eating because I'm not one to throw stuff away. I grew up in a large family and food was, you didn't waste any food. You cut off bad spots and you ate the apple or the potato and kept going.
Or your mom cut the mold off cheese.
Yeah. So keeping them in a dark, cool place. You got to keep the light off them is the big thing, and you want them to not be too warm. And
you want to keep them away from your onions.
Yeah, keep them away from onions. The back and the bottom of the pantry. We happen to have storage outside where we keep them out there in
an old fridge.
An old fridge where it's it's not at refrigeration temperature. It's like at 47 degrees or something like that is the optimal potato storage temperature. But keep the light off it is the big thing.
So Anne wanted to know if oat groats are gluten-free. So they are naturally gluten-free. If you have celiac, you want to buy certified gluten-free because where contamination can happen is in the processing of them. So if they're packaged in a facility that also packages grains that have gluten, then there could be cross-contamination. But oats naturally are gluten-free.
Oh, so Karen says that you can take thumbs back or down back, but now I've got another thumbs down.
We got a second one?
Yeah. Maybe somebody was just experimenting.
Wow.
Or it's entirely my fault. Okay. I think you caught the second question. It was about the oat groats.
So Star says, great information, especially for a beginner. Oh, good. I'm glad. I know it's repetitive for people who've been doing this a long time. Somebody emailed me a while back and said, it seems like you say a lot of the same things. Well, guess what? The story doesn't change. I mean, the information
that's good is consistent.
Yes, it is. This information about a whole food plant-based lifestyle is very consistent, and it doesn't hurt to hear it again. And we always have to remember that we have people in the community who are brand new to it. And so although a lot of us have heard this information over and over, it's important that we help those who are new in the
Remember how
community.
Struck with awe and wonder you were when you first started stepping into the plant-based realm of information?
Yes, everything was just like, oh my goodness, Tom, did you know this? So if today was repetitive for some of you, I totally get it and understand it, but we wanted to be inclusive to the people who are new to our community.
Okay. All right. Melissa added a thumbs up, so we're good to go now.
Oh, thank you. Now that counteracts.
So we got to get off because we're up to 3 thumbs down now. So
my goodness. Okay. Well, now we've got
110 thumbs up. Thank you. Okay.
Okay. Thanks, you guys, so much. Have a really great week. Coming up on March 11th, we will be on Well Your World show with Dylan and Reeves. We will be teaching Dylan how to make chopped salad. So that is on a Thursday. That is their Thursday live hangout. And so we're excited about that. We hope everybody will join us on Well Your World on that day. And we will be back here next Sunday at 4 p.m. Pacific time. We hope you'll join us then. Everybody have a fantastic week. We hope the sun shines where you live. I'm Tami.
And I'm Tom.
And we help you get healthy
and stay healthy.
One meal at a time.
I missed that first one because I was thinking about what button I need to push next. I can't think and talk at the same time.
You can't chew gum and talk at the same time.
Goodbye.
Bye, you guys. Thanks for hanging out.